Welcome back to Digital Devil Saga. We are in the base of the Maribel, and last time we came across this number 3 door that we couldn't open up because it turns out that the switch is a little out of our reach. It was in a path from before that we did not previously take. Well, this fight's a good case from Mabufu. We're gonna see it now. We did! There we go, Heat got a stomachache. That is our first stomachache, and I kind of got it on purpose, which is, actually kind of weirdly, anyway, I wouldn't call it, like, lucky or unlucky. I'm not entirely sure what to call it right now. But this is where I'm going to go ahead and use a Disache. Because if Heat stays in stomachache status when the battle ends, he will not gain any AP at all. Which obviously we don't want. It would be a waste of a perfectly good Devour. So, as I've said previously, the worst feeling is when you devour the last enemy left in a battle, and you get a stomachache after that, because then you just lose all your AP, and there's nothing you can do about it. Oh, hey, there's a blue wall here. Might as well deal with this first. We obviously know that any path blocked by a wall can't be the main path, because the keys are all optional. But, yeah. So, it does add a nice risk versus reward element to devouring, like, enemies that only appear in, like, groups of one, or if it's, like, you know, the last enemy left around. Generally got to be careful when you're devouring the final enemy left. Right, we established before that I don't have access to my Zeo because that would require Bufu on somebody who does not have Zeo. But hey, we got a Shock there. I think it's actually our first time seeing Shock, or at least that I can actually make use of. I mean, I could use that Thunder Rod. I'm gonna save that for a bit because there actually is going to be a horde of enemies, kind of a mini-boss encounter coming up that is all weak to Zeo. I guess I can try for Mad Rush to get some damage on one and a crit as well. Not the crit will actually help me because I've already got the most of my press turns. Speaking of crits that don't help me, thank you, Argilla. We are getting pretty close to Battle Demon, though, and that's going to be very, very useful. In fact, there may be a mid-boss that I can show. Oh, actually, wait, no, that mid-boss, I don't want to use that on at all. Yeah, and here we go. We're on the opposite side of that now, so we can grab this. For some reason, I've always kind of liked this when you can see a preview of, like, a chest in the distance. It's still not nearly as bad as chests in cutscenes, which happens a lot in Kingdom Hearts 2. I keep mentioning that, but I will always keep mentioning that because, I think it's in the Beast Castle. After you beat Zaldin, there is very clearly a treasure chest in the courtyard of the Beast Castle that you have to leave the world and return in order to get. And yeah, this is probably proof that devouring enemies like slimes usually gives you a stomachache. There are certain enemies that are more likely to give you a stomachache. And as the SMT wiki typically says that they tend to be enemies that were of the foul race in other games, but it is mostly slimes. Generally speaking, those are the main things that will give you a stomachache. I don't know if ghouls... I've said this before, I'm wondering if ghouls also count, because ghouls are typically of the foul order in other games. It's called, like, order sometimes, or race, but anyway, Devil Feast, Death Spray, Vile Blade, but most importantly, Taunt. That is the entire reason why I gave Heat some extra MP earlier. Yeah, 20 MP. Seems kind of steep, but it is very worth it. I don't need all of these physical skills. You might also notice I've reordered everybody's skills off camera, putting the elemental skills up top, then followed by like other utility skills, and putting my Devour skill at the bottom. Speaking of which, I'm going to put on Devil Feast. Now, there are certain situations where Devil Feast is not that useful. If you've got an enemy that is not afraid that you really want to devour, using a regular Devour skill is often better. Multi-hit, physical curse one enemy. It's probably better than Venom Claw. So I'll take that over that. And Vile Blade, damage relative to HP. I'm not sure what the exact formula behind these skills are. I know there are skills in Nocturne like this as well. It's relative to, I think it's max HP. That was the case in Nocturne, but it might be current HP. So yeah, Mad Rush is a little unreliable, so maybe I'll take Vile Blade for now, and I'm gonna have to reorder these skills. There we go. I think that's good. Oh right, yeah, Ghoul. Yeah, I'm not sure if Ghoul counts for like being more likely to give you stomach aches. Surf's actually into the red on MP. That's very rare. Yeah, in a lot of Shin Megami Tensei games, demons are classified into either races or orders. Again, like, it's sort of a little, sometimes vague exactly, I just realized that I'm having heat fight with a maxed out mantra, so I'm not taking my own advice, but it's going to be awkward to get back to a save point to change his mantra right now, so I think I'm just going to keep things as is. But yeah, like, I don't know if it's like, because I mean, I know a lot of media has been moving away from using the term race for things like that, but in SMT, they're more like broad categories of demons. They're not really all that relevant in Digital Devil Saga. They're more relevant in games with fusion because they kind of act like the Arcanas from Persona, in that they affect what things fuse into. Aha! Now I can show this. Devil Feast against a frightened enemy equals I lose a whole bunch of AP because he already has his mantra max, but you get the idea. Usually that's very good. I might actually be able to show off Vile Blade too. Yeah, it's probably, like, on average, a little stronger than Mad Rush. Mad Rush at this point is, like, 20 damage or so to, like, 21 damage, but, like, it can hit multiple times, so sometimes if it hits twice, then that'll work. Or, you know, by work, I mean do as much damage as Vile Blade. More chakra drops. I'll always take more MP recovery, especially since Surf is starting to run a little low. And here we go, yeah, here is the switch for gate number 3. Nice crit there. Actually, on that note, I can also, I guess I can mention that, so for some reason in this game, all physical skills have a base accuracy of 96%. Not really sure why, but that's how it works. Got a little bit more into Angel. Yeah, I probably should be devouring more with, Surf and Argilla. You know what, I'm going to go all magic this time. I can afford to get a few of those. Yes, MP heal, great. Well, after we got even more, too. Yeah, you can't really plan for the random level up effects, but as I've said previously, at least unlike Nocturne, there are no negative random level up effects. Yes, again, why are you guys all just wasting the lives of your troops to, test us? That always just felt a little awkward to me, but at the same time, they do justify it by like, oh, we're hungry, and some of us are, you know, going berserk and want to eat things. Still, they are losing a decent amount of their manpower. Oh, I probably should have left that for Argilla. Oh well. It's not super necessary that I get these before the end of this dungeon, though. It would be nice to have. I mainly want Argilla's Void expelled, because that's going to be useful for an upcoming... Hi there. Oh yeah, there's Heat's Ice Grenade now. I mean, yeah, I guess I'm getting frightened before, you know, before I even had a chance to devour. We still get AP even in human form, which implied that we turned back into demon form just in time to eat the enemies. Blob is, I'm just realizing, like, Blob is not in a whole ton of Shin Megami Tensei games. Oh, I probably shouldn't have done that. Okay, I got very lucky there. Very lucky. That easily could have been a stomachache and no AP for her. But yeah, like, there's some games, I know that, like, Black Ooze and regular Slime, are in a lot of Persona games. You know what? I don't want to bother with this. I love the run animation in this game. Everyone just takes one jump back, and somehow that gets them out of the battle. And now, the exact same group appeared again, except this time I am in demon form, and I can boof with them. And there's a stomach egg. Yeah, only eat slimes if you know you're going to get another turn before the battle ends to cure the ache. And you can probably tell why I got like a bajillion dis-aches before this part of the game. Like, is it even possible to get a stomachache before this point? I don't know. Because there are some games out there that intentionally disable certain mechanics before you're able to fully deal with them. Okay, so Heat needs a new mantra now. What can he work on? So he now has access to Demon Lord. But, oh yeah, these, I cannot afford either of these. Ingest, Power Wave, Mute Blow. double slash, counter, and first strike. I should mention the counter skills actually work a little bit differently in this game than how they do in Persona. Instead of repelling physical, what they actually do is give you a free normal attack against whatever hit you, which, depending on your stats, it can actually be a lot worse. Critical and life bonus is not bad. Something that I should mention as well is that, yeah, this was pointed out to me is that I didn't say this in my commentary, but I put it up in annotation. Just like the critical skill in Nocturne that I also didn't find out worked like this until it was already too late, the critical passive skill only affects normal attacks. It does not affect your skills. So just make sure basic attacks have a higher crit rate, which can be good in some circumstances. Now, this next thing coming up, is it the thing that I'm thinking of? Well, whatever it is, I'm gonna go ahead and heal. I think this is birds, but it could be the other thing. It's birds. Hi, birds. Oh yeah, this is supposed to be your introduction to, like, ambush fights, but here's the thing. This game kind of obeys the Fire Emblem rule of if it has wings, it's probably weak to projectiles. Except, that dodged. But these things are weak to gun. So essentially, like, yeah, the main point of this battle is to kind of show you that, oh hey, things can be weak to guns. So it's kind of nice they start you out with like a free ambush and it being a blessing in disguise. But also the weird thing about these birds is they're called Marcha, which is named after an alleged goddess from Irish folklore. I say alleged goddess. Oh, actually, that's kind of funny that he drained less MP. I'll explain why that thing drained less MP later, because there's a reason why, and it's kind of funny. But these things are also weak to electricity, by the way. But like, so Marcha, I say alleged goddess because like Irish is one of those myths where I'm doing this so I can potentially get a devour off on Argilla. It's one of those myths where I'm pretty sure they had no writing system before Christianity, so it's kind of hard to tell exactly which parts of the mythology are real and which are kind of future propaganda. The other weird thing about Marcha is that, like, there are a few goddesses in, like, Irish or Celtic mythology that are referred to as Marcha, and none of them seem to be birds. And I'm really not sure why this is depicted as a bird with a sword, and I don't know why, because the only games that Marcha is in Shin Megami Tensei have no compendium. So I don't know what it's meant to be at all. So it's just a bird with a sword that's weak to guns and electricity. Yeah, so if anybody knows what Marcha is meant to be in Shin Megami Tensei, if anyone has any better theories, because, like, the wiki says that it's probably based on that Irish goddess, but again, like, it's hard to tell if that Irish goddess is even a real thing or not. It's really hard to tell how much of that is, yeah, actually accurate mythological lore. Now, if I'm remembering right, this room is a little, funny. Speaking of funny, you're all gonna waste your turn, so, yeah, just gonna skip ahead. Yeah, another thing about fear that was pointed out to me in comment, because I didn't actually know this before. I have in my opinion, a pretty justified reason for not knowing one half of this, though. Okay, so enemies that are inflicted with fear cannot dodge. So yeah, I actually wasn't aware of that. I thought it was just the instant death hunt skills that were guaranteed to work. But no, they can't dodge at all if they're afraid. So there is a point to fear existing before you get access to Devour skills. But the other thing, and this is what I feel justified in not knowing, so if all enemies on the field were inflicted with fear, you have a guaranteed success rate for running away. But why would you run if you've inflicted all enemies with fear? That makes no sense. And yeah, this is what I thought. Some chests are traps. Only those gold chests have a chance of being traps. So, yeah. You have to be careful sometimes, but these things I believe are weak to force. Yes, they are. So I'm glad that I have Force right now. In my practice run of this game, I actually did this fight without Force. I had to use Force items for it, so that was a bit problematic. But yeah, these things are Yomotsu Ikusa, or just Ikusa. They are the Japanese soldiers of the underworld, or Yomi, and they're the minions of Yomotsu Shikome, I believe. They chased after Izanagi when he fled the underworld. I feel like Ikusa's pretty good in Nocturne. I think it evolves into something good. But yeah, you get nothing out of that. So like, really, you should probably ignore that one. I wanted to show off anyway just for the mechanic, though. Speaking of mechanics, I actually think we're quickly approaching another major mechanic. So yeah, here we got gate number 7. So definitely can't do anything with that, considering our last gate was 3.
Your ass is mine.
There it is! Yeah, okay, so I love that line by Heat. I like to joke that, that if you are in the junkyard, your ass legally belongs to Heat. She ate the sword too, wow. It's just like forward and Critical Role all over again. Okay, and now I need to get Surf onto devouring things. He's getting pretty behind. Yeah, here we go. You feel the presence of weak demons in the vicinity. You can start a field hunt here. Do you want to give it a try? Now, normally, I would say, no, don't do this yet. Because you really, 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 really want Devil Feast before you do this. Seriously, do not attempt this without Devil Feast. But I have Devil Feast on Heat, so I think I probably can go for it. During a field hunt, Surf, in his Varna form, can see enemy presences. He can hunt these presences by pressing the square button near them. When all enemy presences have been eliminated, the Mitama will appear, and if you can defeat the Mitama, you'll be rewarded with a large amount of AP. Do you want to start a field hunt? This is why I like to call this Demonic Pac-Man. You'll immediately see why. So what I also recommend doing is I recommend keeping a good hold on the, which button is it? Dang it, which button is it? It's circle, I think. So the circle button will center the camera behind you. I may have gone the wrong direction. Yeah. But centering the camera behind you is pretty key to getting through these hunts quickly. So you waste less time turning the camera around with the analog stick. So yeah, with the circle button. Really helps a lot. I hope I'm going to be able to do this successfully. I don't remember this first field hunt being particularly tight on time. Also, this music is great. But yeah, you can now definitely see why I like to call this Pac-Man. It's also just so satisfying seeing this quick slash of his arm blades and just immediately... Oh, hi there. I actually got it, yeah, with plenty of time to spare. So this is one of the metal slime enemies in this game. Mitamas can only show up during field hunts. And if you want to kill them, really, at this point, your only real reliable way of doing so is Fear plus Devil Feast. Because they take very little damage from things that are not like Devil Feast. They take little damage from everything. And here's actually a massive problem, because I think I'm going to actually have to use an Ice Blast here. Because none of them got afraid. Okay, good, now 2 of them are afraid. 2 of them are frightened. So, like, I could try this. I highly doubt I am going to be able to kill one of these without Devil Feast, though. They have quite a lot of health. But Devil Feast will om-nom-nom them instantly if they're afraid. And that's really the point of these field hunts. And, yeah, Brave Sir Mitama ran away. And they ran away too, so I only got 1 of them. But at least I didn't get a stomachache. Can you imagine how much it sucks to get a stomachache on these fights? But yeah, they give you a lot of AP. Not enough to master a really, really strong mantra, but yeah, enough to instantly master a low-level mantra, and enough to get pretty good progress to mastering one of the others. Also, the field hunt areas are highlighted in purple on your map. And another cool thing about field hunts, they respawn after 5 full solar cycles. That's probably the major mechanic of solar noise in this game, respawning field hunts. Now, I'm pretty sure this should not be a trap. It was not. We get a devil cell. Which sounds like an obscure form of cell in Dragon Ball. But yeah, now we have to go up these stairs. Hi, enemies. Yeah, once again, the mini-boss appears immediately as a normal enemy. I guess I can show Death Spray. So yeah, multi-hits and a chance of Curse, which, I'll talk about Curse once we actually see it. Curse is an interesting stat. In fact, I believe Curse was actually in a game I played on this channel. I think Curse is in, Persona Q, if I'm remembering right. And if I'm remembering right, it works the exact same way, in Persona Q than it does here. Okay, good, another Surf level up. Yeah, didn't actually mention this, but Surf's demon form is Varna, or Varna, a pre-Vedic supreme being who was, I believe, demoted to a river god after Vedic times. It's actually considered quite a dangerous and malicious entity, at least in later religious lore, which is interesting. Because despite, like, you know, Heat and Argilla's demonic forms, the deities they're based off of were relatively benevolent, I believe, in Hinduism. Agni indeed actually did have 2 heads in the original myth, so the design there is accurate. Haven't got a stomachache from a ghoul yet. Okay, this just loops back on itself. Surprisingly, no stomachaches out of that, and so there we go. We've got Angel and a little bit into Fire Demons, while Jilla now has Hammer, Tarunda, and Void Expel. I believe those blobs are weak to Hammer, so I can show off what Hammer actually does in this game if I want to. I'm not really sure it's that useful to me right now, because I killed them pretty quickly with ice, but anyway. So Hammer, reduce enemy HP by half, Expel. Hammer works very differently to how it does in most Shin Megami Tensei, even though Mudor works the exact same way it usually does. I guess I can take that over Void Force. I have Tarunda as well, but I'd rather set that for bosses. Although, there is a mini-boss coming up that I'd really like that for. I haven't been analyzing much. I should probably analyze one of the marches, but, yeah, don't worry. We're very soon approaching the point where I won't need to keep analyze around any longer. Let's just say that skill becomes redundant. So again, this is pretty redundant right now. But yeah, that did exactly 2 damage. So what is the use of a skill that lowers enemy current HP by a percentage when you could just instantly kill them? Why? Because it makes enemies easier to devour. Yeah. Some people don't like the way that Hammer works in this game, but I personally think it's fine for that reason. The problem with Mudor is that enemies killed by Mudor are impossible to get the full AP from. So if you want to make devouring easier, you need to use, well, you don't need to, but like, Hammer skills are great for that because they reduce enemy HP by a percentage without killing them. So, yeah, if things are weak to Hammer, you can take advantage of that. I was about to mention character in human form being immune to, Hammer, but yeah, it looks like, we just got everybody in human form. Speaking of which, we are actually taking a slight beating here. You know what? I don't want to bother with this. Thankfully, unlike in Nocturne, yeah, Nocturne is an interesting game that makes it so that if you're playing on the highest difficulty, you cannot run from random encounters at all. I don't get why that is a thing. Well, I mean, okay, technically that's not true. So technically in Nocturne, you can still run from random encounters, if you inflict them with an immobilizing ailment, like sleep or bind, which I believe is true of this game as well. Yeah, thankfully, this game does not have a difficulty mode that makes running impossible. Yeah, I definitely need to find a Karma terminal and change up these mantras. But they're pretty generous with the terminals. In fact, there's one like right there. I remember that one. That's the rooftop terminal. For some reason, this one just sticks out to me. Just the fact that there's just a Karma terminal on the roof. I mean, at least these things' stock animal noises make sense. Have I analyzed one of these before? Yeah, we collect Drain Force. Yeah, Drain Force. So, I could demonstrate that now, but I don't really want to. If we hit a Drain or a Repel, it will take away all of our press turns. I'm just gonna order this one down. In fact, there's actually a few different, like, mechanics to auto in this game. In the options menu, you can choose whether auto just uses your normal attack, or whether it repeats your last action. And having auto repeat... Oh, okay, hi there. Having auto repeat on can actually be good for grinding. Oh yeah, I did promise to explain why MP Thief works differently for, when different party members are targeted. That's actually because MP draining skills in this game work based on, they're actually considered a magic attack. In fact, weirdly enough, they have an element. They are actually mute elemental. So having null mute also prevents your MP being drained, which is kind of cool. I wish that was true in more RPGs. It's sort of a unique but also logical interaction. So they're considered mute elements, and yeah, they actually do, I think, calculate their drain based on, like, so for example, Surf having a lot of magic means that he's not going to have a lot of MP drained because he resists magic pretty hard. Okay, Argilla's got Angel done. These are a little beyond us in terms of money at the moment. That's 10,000, but that does get Medea. Ache-D is also kind of nice to have. It sort of gets rid of some of the need for dis-aches, but I also like having Earth Boost. I think I'll take that for now. Okay, from mastering a couple of these, we now have access to one of the hidden mantras, Ancient God. MP Thief, HP Thief, and MP Thief, like I was saying. I pretty much never end up using these. That's also 15,000 marker, which is a lot to ask for just that. You know what? I think I actually will have Heat get started on getting ice resistance. It's gonna take him a while before he gets there. I probably want life bonus. I guess I don't need Void Fire. It actually adds to your current HP as well as your max HP. Not a lot of games are that generous. Yeah, it says critical hit rate doubled. It should specify only for normal attack, not for skills. I mean, to be honest, I'm not really getting a whole lot of mileage out of Vile Blade. I like putting the passives at the bottom. Oh look, there is a taunting thing. Okay, hang on a minute. I think I know what's coming. And the fact they put a save point before this, yeah, I want Tarunda. This would be a good time to demonstrate this. And I'll put it over Analyze because Analyze is useless against mini-bosses. One of my favorite things about SMT5 is the fact they made it so that analyzing does work on bosses. There's really no reason it shouldn't, because you can look up the information on bosses on the internet these days anyway, so it just saves a trip to the internet. It doesn't even really make the fights that much harder, honestly. It just, like, yeah, it just makes it, you know, again, it means you don't have to look up the internet all the time. It also, like, it also kind of saves some of that trial and error, because one of the big criticisms I often see of Shin Megami Tensei is that, like, you'll go into a boss fight not knowing, like, what's coming, and you'll just get slaughtered, and then you do your second attempt where you actually, like, know what's coming, and then you, yeah, and then you actually win, well, hopefully. If you're lucky, sometimes you'll still get destroyed, but still. I guess I can show this off. Hammer can work on normal enemies, and it will reduce their current HP by half. It's just much more likely if the enemy is weak to it. And now I actually find myself wanting a Vile Blade. It's just how it goes sometimes. But yeah, like, that is a common criticism of SNT, and I guess it's true of this one. I'm only really this prepared for the boss fights because I know they're coming. So having analysis work on bosses in SMT5 definitely takes some of that edge off. It makes it a lot, you know, more viable for you to be able to beat bosses on your first try. Yeah, there he is. I'm gonna heal a little bit. Because this guy is a little infamous. Oh, wait, no, maybe it isn't this one. It's the Yaka spam, okay. Where is the other one? I know, maybe it's later? I know there's a certain mini-boss in this that's kind of infamous, but, yeah, now this is the Yaka spam, and this is actually what I was saving my Thunder Rods for. I mean, actually, that's a lie. I was saving my Thunder Rods for the Marchers, but it turns out that I didn't realize that I'd forgotten that you start that fight in human form, so that made it a lot easier. Guess I can use another Thunder Rod. Yeah, if I got Argilla working on Bufu, wait, hang on, those things aren't even weak to electricity. What am I thinking? I'm being dumb. And they're immune to fire. Oh yeah, you guys are weak to ice, right? Meanwhile, they're buffing themselves. Yeah, I did get the Thunder Rods for the earlier fight. For some reason, I had it in my head that these things were weak to electricity. I don't know why. And yeah, I did say Yaka spam, because it is very much emphasis on spam. Okay, we've got one frozen and one afraid, so let's nom nom the scared one. Yeah, most mini-bosses can be affected by Devour skills. Yeah, I only have one blinking turn left after that, because, yeah, of the way that works. Consumed 2 turns and one of them was already blinking, so I'm left with just one. I don't know why they avoid fire. I think that's mostly there in case there are other enemies in the fight, or in case, or they want to trick you into thinking they're weak to fire, which I think I actually did fall for on my first playthrough. Oh, this is the fight. Okay, it's just that it has other reinforcements in it. So this thing, Gyuki. So, power charge on a mini-boss in the second dungeon. Yeah, because Shin Megami Tensei. This is Gyuki. Literally just means bull demon. It's a Japanese yokai. I believe it's also known as Ushi Oni. I think actually Killer Bee's tailed beast is based on this thing. Not specifically the thing from Shin Megami Tensei. You get the idea. The thing from mythology. And I believe this is actually weak to Earth. But here, Tor will be playing with a lot of fire, so I'm not going to do that. Let's instead go for Death Spray. Because, yeah, I probably want to... it's annoying that I have both Tarunda and Terra on the same person. Because I think it is weak to Earth, but I'm going to try and Tarunda it. Because this could help. And now, I guess I can go ahead and do this. I think the speedrun actually does get the Medea combo specifically for this fight. Yeah, because from here on, it will always use one of its actions to power charge, so you'll always have to deal with it being charged for, like, something. I don't think I want to go for, the Medea combo, because I'd lose 2 turns that way. Can I go for the Matera combo? Yes, indeed, it is weak to Earth. I thought so. But yeah, this was a good time to get access to Tarunda. Because that would have done a lot more if I hadn't Tarunda'd it twice. In fact, I could bring it back up to neutral with Taunt if I wanted to. I'm not really sure I'm going to even, need that, though. We'll see. It's not even in red yet. Okay, this is a little bit of a gamble, but this will put it back up to neutral attack, but it will put it down to -2 defense. So there's Taunt going off. And it's not really boosting the damage all that much. In fact, you know what I'm going to do from here? I'm actually just going to show off the Medea combo. Yep, there's the power charge again. Who's it going into? And yes, going into heat. That is probably fine. Okay, it is down to red. Do I dare? I'm going to dare. This could be really bad, but it's now at maximum debuffs. And it's dead anyway, good to know. Good to know, that's weird to say, but yeah, it's down. I might have been able to devour that, but yeah, it's worth a lot of AP regardless. And now we have Fire Demon Learn, so you've got Miragi, but most importantly, Fire Boost. That's kind of what I wanted. I would have appreciated an MP heal out of that, but that's fine, you take what you get. Oh, actually, maybe it wasn't able to be devoured. This is the hee I'm in danger meme. But okay, now let's go ahead and just heal one person. Oh yeah, Argilla barely has any MP right now. And there's a switch there. Oh, right, hi there. Ah, right, okay. We are actually approaching the end now. And like all, in my opinion, all good dungeons, there is a shortcut back to the start from the end. So if you were ever to, like, go back through this place, you've got a little bit of a safety net. I don't know if safety net's the right word, but, like, you know, convenience, that's the word. I'm gonna go ahead and press this before I use the save point, though. I still love that noise. Boom. Gate 4 unlocked, and let's go ahead and hit this save point. And I will explore that. I'll explore that other room before I mention something. Okay, you've mastered Fire Demon, so I've got... Okay, I only got a little bit more, so I can afford Fire Leader, which I think I'm actually gonna... Do I get that, or do I start going for, like, attempting to... Because, like, if you have Devil Feast, that's also really good for, Magatama hunts. Or Mitama hunts, I mean. Oh yeah, but it's coming up as a boss, though, and that's not going to give me any AP. I think, actually, I will start you on this, just because the earlier that everybody gets Devil Feast, the better. Okay, where are we at solar noise-wise? Are we decreasing or increasing? If we're increasing, I might go back and try and sell off my, well, cells. Kind of hope we're not decreasing, though, because that means I'm going to have to do a lot of spinning in circles. Chakra Pot. We are increasing. Okay, that's okay. Because, yeah, as you can see, we now have a... I mean, we can also warp back to that Karma Terminal at the start, which is probably what you're meant to do if you want to sell stuff. Because behind that gate is the boss of this dungeon. And, okay, I'm going to be... And we can easily get back here. So I'm going to just do a little bit of spinning in circles to sell off all of my cells. Also, we can heal here, which is going to be great for Argilla. You might notice, though, this door is still not opening. I wonder what that implies. And speaking of Argilla, she levels up. It'd be funny if she got an MP heal now of all times. Strength. Well, I mean, that helps her devour skills. Okay, we're at half already. So I should mention, you can sell the cells on any solar phase. But just note here that, for example, they're selling for like 1,000, 2,000, and 4,000. And now... Yes, by the way, this is the tried and true method of raising the cycles. Thankfully, this game doesn't have chests that are affected by the phase, so unlike Nocturne, you don't have to spin in circles for full moon in front of treasure chests. That was always an annoying aspect of that game. And now that we're at max, they sell for 1,200, 2,400, and 4,800. Doesn't seem like a very big increase right now, but it will add up for the higher value cells in the late game. So I'm actually going to go out and go back in again, because I want to see if that's enough to unlock the cell bonus. There we go, transmission from the Karma Temple. Cell bonus earned. New items added to the vendor's inventory. Muscle drink was added to the vendor's inventory. Spyglass was added to the vendor's inventory. So, where is it? Yeah, muscle drink. Restores HP or MP, question mark, 1 ally. This app, I believe, has a random chance of applying a status ailment, and sometimes that's actually useful. In a speedrun, using muscle drinks and hoping you get stunned is actually useful to avoid certain other ailments in particular situations. It's kind of funny. But here we go, Spyglass. See enemy info, 1 enemy, reusable. This is an infinite use analyze in item form. Once you buy this, you never need to use the Analyze skill or equip it ever again. So take it off all your characters if you have it. You do not need this. Unless you accidentally sell the Spyglass somehow. Which is possible. Not that I've ever done that, but it's possible. And now there's something that I kind of want to try here, but I also kind of don't because I'm worried that it's going to completely break this fight. But, let's just say that in a practice run, I used Taunt in this fight, and I killed the boss before it used its gimmick. I hope that doesn't end up happening.
Janana, we didn't come here to fight against you.
name is Bat. Remember it. It will be carved into your corpse.
I've been dying for a snack. Come here.
It's not as cool of an intro as Volta from Fire Emblem Sacred Stones, but this is Bats, aka Camazotz. The fact that I got Panic there probably is going to ruin the strategy, so I guess I'm going to focus on curing... Can I cure Panic right now? I have a Panacea, so yeah, I can. But yeah, Camazotz it kind of breaks the Hindu theme naming because it actually comes from a Mayan bat deity. But yeah, this guy has by far the most on-the-nose name and in this world, and that's really saying something. He doesn't take a lot of damage from most things. In fact, physical attacks are the way to go here. For now, at least. However, the reason why I put Heat first was so that I could taunt, and then Tarunda with Argilla to erase the attack buff. So now he's down to -2 defense and neutral attack. Honestly, I think switching over to Heat's probably better, and then I can go Death Spray. Yeah, that does a lot of damage. And Rage. Rage is the Digital Devil Saga counterpart to, wow, I can't believe I've forgotten it. It's Beast Eye, that's it. Yeah, how could I forget? You know, Mott from Nocturne. So yeah, Rage turns 1 turn into 2 half turns. It is only available to enemies, and it is pretty annoying. But in this game, it's usually only used for scripted things. So he did that area attack, and now he's gone into guard mode. In guard mode, Bat nulls almost everything, but... he gains a weakness to Earth, and Earth knocks him out of his guard. So, yeah, I don't really know exactly how you're meant to, like, figure that out. The fact that he's, like, on the ground now is probably meant to imply that. I don't know. It's kind of almost like a Pokemon using Roost, you can say. But that is essentially the main gimmick of this fight. Now, I'm also terrified that if I use Death Spray here, I'm just going to kill him right now. No, he's not down to red yet. He's raging again. Okay, he's definitely putting up a better showing than he did in my first, my test playthrough. That's one thing. Yeah, as much as this looks wind-aligned, this is actually physical. Also, yeah, he missed there, so that's kind of bad, because it means he didn't get to guard, so I don't get to hit him with his weakness. So that can be kind of funny. There are some times where you don't want enemies to ruin their press turns. Still not red. Okay, then. I guess I can keep Tarundering him. But yeah, you can see here where, you know, changing your party order can help. I want to guess that he's going to go into red with this one. Yeah, there you go. That took him into red. HP Thief. Well, I guess he's meant to be like a vampire bat, so I mean, suppose that fits. But that is pretty pathetic. Only 10 damage. I believe they are classed as almighty attacks in this game. Well, at least HP Thief. MP Thief is a mute attack, as we already established. So I've taunted you down to -4 defense, and now let's see how much damage Heat does with his Death Spray. Oh, he did not die. That could be bad. Okay, we got Panicked, but... Alright, he's definitely in his almost dead animation, though. Oh, he only did one more. There we go. So yeah, that's definitely a step above Harley. I made it look a little easy, but yeah, actually this is one of the few times when Ultra Magic Surf doesn't really help all that much, because, yeah, Bat is very resistant to magic. You want to use physical attacks on him, kind of like as implied by the battle intro, Heat is your best party member for this fight. But also, yeah, you need Earth on Argilla too.
Don't stop me. This is the new law. We must devour those weaker than us.
Heat!
Why do you not kill Bat? According to the new commandment, your ally is correct.
Why? I don't want to. I don't like needless killing.
Your name. Tell me.
Argilla.
Argilla. I accept your tribe's proposal. The Maribel will ally themselves with the Embryon.
Jinana, you can't trust them. If I had more power...
I am the one in charge here. Go tend to your wounds.
We thank you, Janana.
Thank you. Such beautiful words. Follow me.
And as we move on to the next phase of our plan, I'm going to see you all next time.